Number 3, we love the freedom that the truth provides. Jesus said, if you hold to my teachings, you'll really be my disciples. Then you'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Did you get that? You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. I don't know if you realize this or not, but you've got some bad habits. Right? And you may struggle with those bad habits. But you put the truth in the presence of those bad habits, the anointed truth in the presence of those bad habits. You may still have the bad habit for a while, but the truth is going to be putting pressure on those chains and pressure on those chains and pushing on those chains. And one of these days, before long, those chains of bondage are going to snap under the pressure of truth. Amen? They're going to fly apart and you're going to be free. You're going to be free. You will know the truth. You'll really be my disciple. You won't be just religious. You'll be my disciple and the truth will set you free. Sometimes we need an intervention. We need someone that loves us to step into our life and say, time out. Things are getting out of control here. You know what I mean? You've seen the interventions? About 15 years ago, I was preaching a revival, a little church, probably 2 or 3 hours south of here. And I don't remember what I was preaching, but I remember I was preaching and challenging people to repentance, which I think is the job of an evangelist. And I was doing the work of an evangelist, and I was challenged. And I remember the pastor's son who had become a real prodigal. He had wandered away. He had rebelled against his father and the message and the church and everything it stood for. But he came into one of those revival meetings. And I was preaching away. Again, don't even remember the subject. But afterwards, in fact, wife and I went out to eat somewhere afterwards, and he came and sat down at the table with us, and he looked and he said, did I give it away? I said, did you give what away? He said, I felt like there must be something on my face that's telling you what I was thinking. You know, he said, because, man, what you were saying was, and so I talked with him. I remember, I'll just give his first name, not his last name, just in case, because we are somewhat close, but his name was Brian, and I do remember his last name, but I'm not going to give it to you, but it is, you know. I'm going to keep stumbling around until I do it, aren't I? You know. So I had a conversation with him at the table that day, and he told me, he said, I've been involved in this, and he listed, you know, I've been into drugs, I've been into alcohol, I've been into pornography, I've got all this stuff going on, and, you know, he said, I really believe I have really betrayed my upbringing. And so we prayed together, and he's talked about he was going to get things, and this is 15 years ago. And this past Monday, my wife and I we'd actually run down to Lee Summit to do some stuff for the event center to pick up some supplies. And while we were doing business there, one of the salesmen stopped me and he said, hey, do you know Brian? And he gave the last name. And my mind sat there going, whoa, blah, blah, blah. I go, yeah, I haven't seen him in 15 years, but yeah, I know him. And he said, I was in church with him last week. I just want you to know he's doing great. He's doing great. And I thought, when I sat down with him for a meal 15 years ago, he had all kinds of bondages in his life. All he had was a connection to the truth. But over the years, the pressure of the truth on his bondages made those chains break. You see what I'm saying? We love the freedom that the truth brings. We love it.